news. In global news, one of South Africa's best-known sports stars, he's the first amputee to compete against able-bodied athletes at the 2012 London Olympics. Oscar Pistorius was jailed for 5 years in 2014 for the homicide of his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp. According to South Africa law, Pistorius is now eligible for release under correctional supervision because he has served a sixth of his sentence. He is set to be released on probation in August 2015, although Mrs. Steenkamp's parents say this is not fair treatment for taking the life of another person. Activists say that at least 49 civilians, including 6 children, have been killed by airstrikes from the government in northwestern Syria. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights reported that missiles had hit a public square in the rebel-filled village of El Wanda. The Syrian Observatory and the local coordination committees, LCC, an opposition activist network, both said government aircraft had attacked El Wanda on Monday. The LCC put the death toll at 60 and warned that it was likely to rise because some of the dozens of wounded people were in critical condition. In the sports world, James turned in a triple-double to remember Matthew Dellavedova, made the go-ahead free throws in overtime, and the Cavaliers overcame a fourth-quarter collapse to outlast the Golden State Warriors 95-93 on Sunday night to even the NBA playoffs in a game piece. James finished with 39 points, 16 rebounds, and 11 assists in 50 minutes, carrying Cleveland's depleted roster to victory on the NBA's toughest home floor. The Warriors had been 47-3 at ear-piercing Oracle Arena. The next game is at the Quicken Loan Center in Cleveland on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Ben Bishop and Andre Vasilevsky will start in goal for Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final Monday against the Chicago Blackhawks. John Cooper did not reveal anything about the Tampa Bay Lightning's uncertain goaltending situation. Bishop left Game 2 in the third period with an undisclosed ailment and was replaced by Vasilevsky, a 20-year-old rookie with 2 previous relief appearances this postseason. Bishop traveled with the Lightning to Chicago. Vasilevsky is considered one of the best goaltending prospects in hockey and has experience from 3 World Junior tournaments and the KHL playoffs. The NHL playoffs continue tonight at Chicago in 8. And over to Austin.
In Canadian news, in Edmonton, the Alberta Mounties are investigating the death of a 40-year-old man whose name has not been released. The man was said to be wingsuit flying with his 2 companions. After jumping, the man had come to find out that his parachute would not deploy and plunged to his death into the trees of the Hai Ling Peak on Sunday around 9:30 a.m. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Stay tuned later this week in hopes for more information. On Sunday, June 7th, 2015, 2 men named David Sweat and Richard Matt escaped from Maximum New York prison near the Quebec border through a hole they made in a steel pipe. David Sweat, 34, was serving a life sentence without parole for the 2002 killing of the sheriff's deputy, Matt Richard, who was 48. Matt Richard, who was 48, was sentenced to 25 years to life for the 1997 kidnapping, killing, and dismembering of his former boss. There is now a $100,000 reward for information leading to their capture. The 2 criminals are believed to be making a runaway into Canada. If you see or hear anything about these 2 men, do not approach by yourself. These men are dangerous and should not be confronted. Call law officials right away. In local news, shortly after 1 p.m. on June 6, police responded to a single motor vehicle collision on Mitchell Road involving a motorcycle. A 65-year-old Mississauga man lost control of his motorcycle, resulting in injuries that required him to be transported to the Kingston General Hospital trauma unit with what was believed to be multiple fractures. Police were also called to an Everett Street home just before noon on Wednesday where a neighbor dispute had taken place. Police were told one man had dumped a bucket of furnace oil on his neighbor's driveway, splashing oil on the neighbor and his vehicle and house. As a result of the police investigation, a 20-year-old man was arrested and charged with mischief and breach of probation and is being held for a bail hearing. MP Daryl Cramp announced on Friday morning the government will be finally funding the area's conservation effort. A total of $872,000 will be split between 3 long-term water projects with the intent of improving the bay's water quality and biology. It's been decades since the Bakelite factory on Belleville's east end seeped thousands of liters of toxic chemicals into the ground. Over $1 million has been needed for cleanup efforts, but they say this money is used for improving the bay's overall quality instead of just repairing it. Residents are hopeful that that years from now, the bay will return to 100% free contamination. And the weather today. The weather for today is 20 degrees, feeling like 26, with a sticky humidity of 89%, with no wind to provide a breeze. The overcast sky promises 80% chance of light drizzle turning into 30% overnight. The mercury is set to drop 14 degrees into the night, but the humidex is here to stay. Light clouds and fog are set to roll in as well, which will induce low visibility for drivers. Tomorrow suggests similar conditions with the chance of thunderstorms, so be prepared for the rain. Thank you for watching Trojan Television News. You keep it classy.